We'll now hear a reading from the manuscript that has won second prize in the Young Australian Christian Writer Award.
Kade quickly twisted my arms behind my back and held me up against him. In the next moment, I saw the glint of a knife. For one terrifying moment, I thought he was going to stab me then and there, that my life was going to end on the edge of a cliff. I struggled to get away, but his grip was so firm I could barely move. He was strong, and I hated him for it. He held the knife a few centimeters away from my throat. God, I could really do with your help. Reece and Lucas had been rushing after him, but they saw the knife and stopped. Harry had climbed up and reached them too. They all looked at me with dread. What were we supposed to do? By then I was whimpering. Please, please. I was so afraid I felt like I was going to pass out. A part of me wanted to. Stay back, Kade yelled. Stay back or she'll be next. My mind was working 100 times faster than normal. Random images were flipping through my mind. I tried to slow them, to control them, to find one that would tell me what to do. I looked down and saw Kade's bare feet behind mine. I glanced at Reece. His face was pale and his eyes begging me to be free. He managed to say, "Let her go," but it came out feebly. I could feel Kade's heart racing against my back. His breathing was heavy, and I realized he was scared too. He'd been caught and injured. He was stuck between 3 teenage boys and a cliff. He was just as vulnerable, and I was his only protection. If I could just remove myself from the equation, we would be safe. I raised my foot and stamped it as hard as I could on Kade's left foot. The hiking boot came down heavily. Kade screamed. I moved my foot away and saw the blood and disfigured toes that I'd broken. The sight of it made my stomach lurch. Kade loosened his grip. He dropped the knife downward and cut the back of my hand as I moved to get away. Reece, Harry, and Lucas ran forward. I saw them coming with wild anger and stepped aside. Momentarily, afraid of the violence I saw in their eyes too. The 3 of them tackled Kade to the ground, and the knife fell over the edge. Reece hit him again, and I think he would have kept hitting him, but I yelled at him to stop. I was crying by then. "Oh, Katie," he said when he realized, and he hurried back over and held me. Harry and Lucas stood over Kade, who was unconscious. "I thought I was going to die," I sobbed into Reece's chest.
Second prize in the Young Australian Christian Writer Award has been won by Trudy Adams for her manuscript, The Sunshine List. Trudy, please join us on stage. Trudy, this is what the judges had to say about The Sunshine List. A teenage protagonist and her family deal with rising tensions as changing circumstances threaten close family bonds. The narrator's voice is believable and engaging. Emotions and hopes are revealed in her diary, letters, and to-do lists. Themes include common contemporary issues such as cyberbullying, drug abuse, and the fragmentation of family relationships. At the end of a complex story that continues to produce surprises, the narrator reaches a sense of resolution and hope. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Trudy Adams.
Thank you. I promise the whole book's not as dramatic as that. Yeah, it's a real honour to win this award, and I really appreciate it. The Sunshine List is actually the 6th novel I've written for teenagers I'm a youth worker by day, and so I have a real passion for teenagers and the things that they struggle with. And I wrote the Sunshine List to explore some of the common issues that they deal with, but often deal with expectations that they'll deal with it with adult maturity. And I think that is enormous pressure for a lot of teenagers. So I wanted to write something that would hopefully give them some hope. Thank you.
Great.